How are
Hello,
you?
how are you?
I am very good. I love what you did to the American Airlines arena. I am so sick of the woke policies that are coming through these airlines, especially. And let me just read some of the text. You described the picture. It says, "Welcome to the woke American Airlines. My pronouns are he, she, it, lost, baggage."
Who said AI doesn't work with that image?
So this image is, I can't tell, woman, man, light blue suit, looks almost like a military uniform, but it's American Airlines, and pink hair.
I don't know. I just don't want whatever that thing is flying my plane.
Then you have a poster that looks like a poster for the real fight. It says gender inclusive. Jake Paul versus Nate Diaz. He, him versus he, him, asterisk. American Airlines Center policy is gender inclusive. Welcome to the woke American Airlines. How was the response to this from American Airlines in the American Airlines arena?
I haven't heard directly. Thank God. I'm just lucky I'm not in a jail cell. I could say the second I put up the first poster, security was pretty much all on me. I had like 5 instances where police were driving past watching what I was doing. So I didn't know if I was going to have a heart attack or an aneurysm. So the response that I had was fear.
So how do you get away with this? Honestly, you do this all over California. By the way, I highly recommend that you buy his art. I think he is going to be remembered. Sorry to talk about you like you're not here. But I think Sabo is going to be remembered as one of the most important artists of our day. He doesn't get any press, really, except negative, because he is on the freedom side. And his stuff is very, very powerful, and I think an investment. So go to unsavoryagents.com. That's still your address, isn't it? Unsavoryagents.com. Okay. So how do you get away with this, Sabo?
I have no idea. When that first police officer drove by and stopped, I was in such fear because I had no idea what I was going to tell him. And when he left, my assistant said, "I think you're invisible." And so I have no idea. I think someone's just smiling on me.
In Texas, they may have agreed with you. One of my favorites is kind of a flashback to the old airplane movies. And it says, American Airlines, if you like old comedies, then you'll love our corporate policies. Get woke with American Airlines, where diversity comes before safety. We have a first class, business class, and woke class, where your middle seat can identify as a window seat.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
So great. Now, this was brought on by their idea that they're going to have diversity in the cockpit. Is that what brought this on?
Yes, and when I hear something like that, all I can think of is 300 people's lives in the hands of someone who got hired as a token or a diversity hire. And we see how diversity hires work out with Kamala Harris, so not very well.
Yeah. I have to tell you, the airlines, I think they're getting worse and worse. They're more militant than ever. My family been flying back and forth on another airline, Delta, who's always been pretty good. And it is, they've been delayed for 2 days. It's been really bad. And some of these airlines, the way they're going, and what the government is saying that, you're not going to go on vacation on an airplane anymore. It seems like they're working hand in hand to make airlines less desirable, to have them not really function other than like a third world country. And just sometimes I've been on airplanes where I feel like I'm a hostage.
Yeah, and sometimes you are. They'll let you sit on the tarmac for an hour and not even let you get up and use the restroom. But I think corporations are starting to figure this out. I mean, we saw what happened to Bud Light and with Target and with all the boycotts. I mean, from what I understand, even BlackRock is starting to jump off that little wagon of theirs. Because it's almost like you woke up one morning and corporations just said, well, screw profits. Who needs them?
Yep, it is.
But they're learning.
Well, I hope they are. I think some of these are going to play it to the death. The death of their corporation couldn't come to a group of more deserving companies than the ones that are out. Two of my favorite pieces of art that you've done recently, the Pinhead Fauci, is absolutely fantastic. And then you go into explain that one. So if anybody hasn't seen it,
it's Pinhead from that movie Hellraiser, and it just looks like Anthony Fauci. I can tell you, when I was putting that poster up, I saw my container of glue get kicked over. I thought it was my assistant, but it was the owner of the building with a screwdriver pointed at my back. So that's all I remember when I think of that poster. But yeah, that was a reaction to COVID. That was my reaction to COVID, and I did quite a number of hits for COVID. So at least I was busy then.
You did some of your best work. I think the best political, poster that I've ever seen that hits harder and is more well done than anything that you usually see is your anti-vaxxer, where your A and your V are made to look like a Star of David, and it absolutely looks like it could be pulled out of the 30s, and it just says report anti-vaxxers. Call 310, and then it gives the number, which I think was what you were supposed to do in California, would call a number and report on people. And it says, because you care, and they don't. But the picture you have on your website is you've posted it on a Jewish synagogue, it appears to be. How did that go over?
It didn't go over well, and it was kind of disappointing. Some of my best friends are Jewish. I have absolutely no problem with Jewish people, but believe me, I have friends who don't seem to like them for whatever reason. But I knew that there was going to be some heat for this, and from what I understand, the West Hollywood police were looking for me, and they were comparing me with all these anti-Jewish hate messages that are going around the country. And what I always try and say is, no, this is a cautionary tale. We don't want to go back to where we were in the 30s. And, the saying, never forget. Well, I'm trying to help you not forget. And the sad part is, I get labeled anti-Semite for doing it. And I picked that location because you want a nice photograph, something that applies. And so, I know the synagogue, and I think it just fit.
I tell you, the bravery that it takes, and I know you and your cohorts do it in the middle of the night, but you have a huge target on your back, and it amazes me that you aren't more famous than you are, and I think that's just because the powers that be do not want to expose you to people, because some of the stuff you do is just so powerful.
I appreciate you saying that. And honestly, professionally speaking, all I ever focused on was the next hit. It's like I wasn't the kind of person that really tried to milk the attention that I get. And I would probably be a lot further along financially if I did. But
sure.
But you're right. It's like the art community isn't going to embrace me. But I've learned that if you just fight hard and push hard, you'll get there. So hopefully this will it's definitely going to be an interesting year coming up.
So I have the towers painting that you did, which was the Twin Towers, kind of looks like a tarot card. Can you explain that one just a little bit?
I did that like a day or two after 9/11. And if you look into the meaning of the tarot cards, there's a card called the Tower, and it was obviously for me it was very difficult. I'm an ex-Marine, or I'm a Marine, and to see what happened in New York really hit hard. But I think if you really want to either take on or understand the people that did this, you kind of have to put yourself in their mindset. And that's what that was an exercise for me. I was like, what were these people on those planes thinking when they hit those towers? And they were thinking that they were knocking the crown off of the great Satan. And I think to be a good communicator or a good artist, you have to be like a good lawyer. Your mind has to go to these places in order to find the art that you want to do. And yeah, so that was one of the first pieces I did after 9/11. The next one was the F piece, a warbird that I did. I don't know if I can cuss on this.
Yeah.
But
no, you can't. It's broadcast.
Yeah, those are like brother and sister pieces, and two of my oldest pieces actually.
I think I may own that one as well. Have you sold the death, the COVID? That is brilliant. The tarot card of death. That's COVID.
No, I'm making a series. I've got a death one, and what was the other one? I have a third one that it was
anti-war, wasn't it?
No, it was Stop the Steal. It was the gentleman with the horn hat, and he's like stepping off the cliff. Those are all based on tarot cards.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. That series, I'm hoping that series touches on very important pivotal moments in the country. And one could say COVID was just COVID, but no, COVID destroyed a lot, not only in the country but the world. And
it's still
January
destroying.
6th,
we're not the same. We're not the same country at all.
No, we're not the same world. Definitely not the same country.
No.
And one could say that January 6th was the American Reichstag. And we're starting to see how the feds were involved and just how much rot is around this country. So I believe that was a very pivotal moment in our history.
Well, I really appreciate your work. As you know, I collect your work, and I highly recommend anybody collect the poster or whatever you can. I think what Sabo does is so incredibly important, insightful. You may not agree with everything that he says or what he prints, but it is absolutely brilliantly done, and I think in time his work will be remembered as very, very important in the American story. Go to unsavoryagents.com. That's unsavoryagents.com. If you haven't sold the Death original yet, please hold that for me, because I'll contact you, because that is just brilliant stuff. Just brilliant stuff.
Oh, well, I appreciate that. I just finished a 400-page table book, and I'm looking for a publisher, so call me.
Oh, okay, I will. Yeah. I think your work should absolutely be on coffee tables. I mean, coffee tables of people who are, maybe a little edgy, but I put it on mine. I think it's brilliant stuff.
Or in your man cave.
Yes, in your man cave. It is perfect. It is perfect. Great. Sabo, thank you so much. Appreciate it. God bless.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Glenn. Have a good day.
You bet. He is from unsavoryagents.com, unsavoryagents.com. All righty. How you doing, Stu?
Good, Glenn. I would also remind people that he remember when Nancy Pelosi did her little. She was telling everybody she couldn't leave the house, and then she went to go get a nice haircut, blow dry situation in the middle of COVID, and there was maybe Sabo's some of his top work where he did a Nancy Pelosi blow me for the blow drying. Poster and T-shirt, and it's up at shop.blazemedia.com if you wanted to get the sticker, or the mug, or the T-shirt.
So good.
It's up there.
Yeah.
It's a fascinating one. People always enjoy it.
I have his original Hillary flying monkeys that he hung on telephone wires all through the streets of L.A. I mean, I've got a lot of his stuff that is in the museum now, just being held, because I think his stuff is really edgy, but it is really good, and he is very brave.
Yeah,
very brave.
I don't know how much you've gone through the site. I mean, some of it you would say is maybe even beyond really edgy.
Oh yeah.
It pushes the envelope for
Some
sure.
of it is really bad.